My name is Lynn Kilpatrick, and I'm reading a piece entitled Quarantine. I want to remind you that the word quarantine also has the reference of 40, so this is 40 lines. I loaded all the rocks into a box and mailed them to you. I swept up all the leaves from the gutter and arranged them in a likeness of your face. All the lint that gathers in the corners of the bedroom, behind curtains and in shadows, I piled in the yard and watched it burn. I tore a poem from one of your books and ate it. I spelled out a plea using only blades of grass and an awl. I left many sentences hanging in the air. I built a boundary of pills between your world and mine. I figured out the difference down to the last breath. I exploded. I reconstructed my childhood out of old newspapers and glue. I made a feast using twigs and tin cans. I arranged furniture in the garage into an exact replica of my dreams. I calculated pi to infinity. I translated all my sins onto my flesh using charcoal. I dressed up as you, but in my own clothes. I stitched my pain into a worn pair of your socks. I knit an exact copy of you and propped it in a chair. I sang my triumphs into an old cereal box. I believed the shoes, arranged in their cubbies, spoke to me of the dead. I realized that doors were just one way of understanding. Nothing stood out. The trees began their inevitable campaign against me. The dog refused to make eye contact. I began to perfectly imitate the habits of a normal person. The supply of oranges diminished. You began to speak to me from the corners of rooms. I slept only 4 hours. The walls muffled the exhalations of the world. The rice spilled from its bag begged me to decipher it. The mundane took on ritualistic meaning. Every fork made its argument. I awoke each morning in the dark and searched my dreams for omens. The signs arrived, and I ushered them into their proper order. Every grain of salt cried out in agony. Every speck of dust landed with enhanced meaning. The water, when drawn, refused to yield. My compatriots organized against me. This day is the same. I cannot ignore the yellow sage vying for my attention. And yet,